not a god, I am Humpday.
What's good, Tenno, and welcome. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay of Phantasma Prime against level 9,199 Steel Path enemies in Warframe, and I want to officially apologize for not having Phantasma Prime build for level cap until now. I didn't know. I totally forgot. I thought I've done it, but I didn't. So, tons of builds in the channel. Go check them out. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like for the algorithm. Let's get started. Now, before you build anything in the game, I highly recommend you check Warframe Wiki. Even if somebody show you the build or you see it on my channel, it doesn't matter. You check Warframe Wiki. Maybe you find things that I overlooked or something like that, okay? So, everything you read, you understand the weapon, what it's about, so that later on will build as a muscle memory to start making your own powerful builds. And I highly recommend, and please DE how hard it is to copy this and paste it in game for new players not to look around and veterans to approve their builds. It's really easy and I don't think it will take you so much. Now, before I build my weapons on Warframes, I rely on my method DVS. Now, if you start following DVS, my method, you will start making your own powerful builds before actually watching any video. D stands for how I will be dealing damage. What elements I'll be using. What's the faction I'll be fighting. I'm gonna be using additive damage, multiplicative damage to faction, depends, okay? And what's the element I'm gonna use against each faction. Now, the V stands for how I proc 10 stacks of viral to make enemies vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP, and guess what? Every enemy in the game has HP, so that's why viral is meta. S stands for stripping enemies armor. Stripping enemies armor is a must in Warframe, in my opinion, as it scales your builds, it pushes the damage high, and that's what you're looking for to just take out enemies you don't play with your food. Now, if you don't like my methods in today's video, you can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. As in Warframe, we all know you can do things in many different ways, but the results pretty much is the same. Now remember Tenno, I take Revenant to level cap because he is the Warframe I use for weapon showcase. So I show the KPM of the weapon and DPS instead of relying on survivability to give the weapon a fair trial in a way. So why we go to level cap? Not because this build is just made for level cap. No, this build is tested at level cap. But what makes level cap different? Now, enemies in Warframe, they scale on EHP, means the higher level they are, the higher EHP they are, effective hit points, mean they have higher HP, higher shields, and higher overguard. Now, with that said, we want to test the weapon at enemy's highest level. So if it kills highest level, it means it can kill any enemy below. So that's logic, right? Also, when we take a Warframe to level cap is to test the Warframe survivability as Warframes increase in their damage output per level. So keep that in mind. Now, before I show you the build, we're gonna go through Simulacrum testing the way you like, Tenno, because a lot of you have been asking me, Hank, we want to see the things scale slowly in Simulacrum to have an idea, because Simulacrum Steel Path pretty much is the highest level you will get to play on daily basis. Like, you start 145 on Steel Path or something like that, and you get to like 230, 300 around that mid to low game. So a lot of Tennos want to see the performance of the weapon step by step, and you know, guys, I don't boost the weapons anyway, and I don't use any Rivens. The reason for that, I can't expect you to buy a Riven and spend your platinum just to copy a build. It doesn't make sense, and you don't even find the same Riven, or even if you find the same Riven, the grades will be different, and we get into a complicated, endless thing. So, I'll be using Excalibur, no Arcanes for primary yet, and all I'm going to be using is the two Emerald Archon shards to push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14 to armor strip enemies, as my Phantasma Prime will be modded for corrosive, radiation, magnetic, blast. We're coming to there, guys. Okay, so Nourish will proc viral for me, as I have corrosive in my weapon, so Nourish will bring the viral, and the two Emerald Archon shards will push for armor stripping. No companion yet, and no arcanes yet. Okay, so let's summon heavy corrupted gunners really quick. Actually, you know what? Let's summon Manik, as Manik has the highest HP in Simulacrum. And a lot of Tennos love testing against Manik these days. So this is what I'm going to give you, Tenno. So, here we go. This is the Manik. Now, the say enemies will not stand a chance against this guy. You saw it was slow a little bit in the beginning because it was going for the galvanized. But here you go, guys. We are not joking around. And remember, this is not a crit build. This weapon, I think it's wrong to build it around crit. It doesn't really work out much. Okay, so I have a multiplicative faction mode against the Grineer, but why not? Let's summon some heavy corrupted gunners if you are playing, let's say, I don't know, Void mode or something like that. There we go. Activating Nourish. Boom. 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 Would you look at that? I mean, we are not joking around at all. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Now we're using grineer multiplicative damage, but it is what it is. So let's summon some heavy corrected Eximus units. Now, even Eximus units will not be a problem for us. The reason for that is because we have magnetic in the weapon. So magnetic will deal 325% more damage to shielded enemies' shields and their overguard, which makes it just beautiful. So there is no enemy actually will stand on your way, overguarded or not, you will take it out. And that's the deal, and that's what you're signing up for, and that's what you get for following Papa Hank builds. Simple as that. Let's go. Slow a guy out. Boom. Alright, so now let's summon, before summoning, let's get some arcanes on. Of course, I will not use both slots because 90% of the times you will not do that. Either you will have Energize, either you will have Aegis, so we will use only one. I will use Rage. On headshot, 15% chance for 180% damage to primary weapons, but use anything you want. On the aura, I will leave it empty, because mainly you will be using Brief Respite, you will use something else, but for low to mid game, you can use the Hostile Amp, or you can use anything for your primary, or anything you want. Okay, depends on what you're playing. For Companion, I'm going to be using Nautilus Prime to pull in enemies, and the build in the channel, you can go check it out. It's a very powerful companion, so we don't keep like showing the build over and over and over again. Now, activating Nourish, and you will see significantly the damage output, as we have an extra 120% critical damage, and we have extra 60% fire rate, and the fact that Nautilus will pull in enemies, they is overguarded, so he doesn't pull them as he would unless the overguard is out, but you get the idea in here. Okay, so let's summon one more time the Manique. Go, as we have the grineer multiplicative faction damage. Here we go. We don't want that once. Here we go. Now, you look at that. Manique out. Boom, boom. Now they are all together in, and we are not joking around. Now, for the alt fire on the Phantasma Prime, it is nice, but I use it only when they are gathered like this. And I use it, you see, but I don't really likes to use it, in my opinion. It's just like I found it a little bit slow for my taste, but main fire is the way to go, and this weapon is a beast. So let me show you the build now really quick. Okay, first thing first, every Tenno would approach builds in a different way, and every Tenno, during their journey in Warframe, they will start learning different things about the game, and knowledge is the most powerful thing in Warframe, not the mastery. So, let's start with Unique Attack. Alternate fire charge a plasma bomb that release 5 seeking projectile on explosion plus 4 magazine size when wielded by a Revenant. Now, see here, if you wield this weapon with Revenant, you will have that effect, but on alternate fire, that's why on the showcase of the level cap, I was using Revenant, but I didn't use alt fire. Okay, so Galvanized Savvy. Now, we all know Galvanized Savvy and all that kind of thing, and if we go to Wiki right here, it has a nice feature on the bugs, actually, right here, known bugs. Galvanized Savvy is multiplicative based damage social on direct hits from bomb bullets, so until they fix it, Galvanized Savvy is really good to have, and even though on direct hit from the main primary hit, because we're not gonna go for radial hit, mainly we are going for the main projectile hit. So Galvanized Savvy is a must-have in there for the direct damage per statue type affecting the target, and we have a lot of statue affected target. Now, Galvanized Hair for multi-shot on kill, 50% multi-shot for 20 seconds, stacks up to 4 times, and of course you want multi-shot. Like you have 11.5 multi-shot, and this is a shotgun, guys. Like shotguns is a must-have multi-shot. Now, Primed Glance of Grineer here, it's a multiplicative damage against the faction you're fighting. You want to replace it every time you are fighting a different faction, but a lot of Tennos doesn't like to do this. But so if you don't like to do that, Primed Point Blank is the way to go until you choose otherwise. Now, Toxic Barrage for Toxin, Magnetic Strafe for Magnetic and Fire Rate. Now, Magnetic and Fire Rate is awesome because the Fire Rate will kill enemies faster, right? And Magnetic will make enemies vulnerable to 325% more damage on their shields and overguard. So in case you're fighting a corpus or a, let's say, overguarded enemy, Eximus, Thrax, and whatever, it comes in handy and you'll be very thankful, I promise you that. Also, you can see it deals more damage to TennoCreate, it's good stuff. Now, Primal Charged Shell for electricity, Shattering Inferno for heat and statue chance, Primal Shielding Grasp for cold, Galvanized Acceleration. Now, let me be clear here. I've tested this and I've checked it and I have decided. Galvanized acceleration, I would say low to mid game, but if you're going to the high game, I highly recommend using Primed Shotgun Mutation. This is the one I would go for the high game, hands down, and I highly recommend that. Low to mid game, Galvanized acceleration will do you good, and you'll not have to worry about ammo because this guy ammo comes in handy at certain points, but it is what it is. Now, primary deadhead on headshot kill 120% damage, 30% to headshot multiplier, and 50% weapon recoil, and that's pretty much it. So we're running corrosive to armor strip, radiation to make enemies actually confused and attacking each others, and damage increase, confused damage increase up to 550% with multiple stacks. Also, we have the impact for heavy units as Ignimus. It's also lower the Parazone mercy kill threshold, 80% of total health with multiple stacks, and also it targets the failed backward temporarily with repeated stacks, increasing the size of duration and stagger. Grineer, Scaldra, it's really good. Magnetic, as we said earlier, the damage against overguard and shields. The blast is the key here. Blast deals 30% base damage after 1.5 seconds as an explosion at 10 stacks, or on death, stacks deal their damage simultaneously to enemies within 5 meters while staggering them. Now, I know, Tenno, that a lot of you may get confused in here and what to do and what to do. Now, if you want to switch this build to viral, you can do that. But if you're fighting Corpus, I prepared another build here for you guys, because if we just test this build against Corpus really quick, I'm just gonna summon some Corpus, let's say, we want to summon them Ignimus really quick. Let's say, for example, we summon Corpus Warden Ignimus, for example, something like that. Or let's summon Corpus Tech Ignimus, whatever. Okay, so I want to show you something really quick. So you'll see here the damage we're doing, okay? It's nice, it's good, okay? But the thing I learned about Corpus over the years I'm playing Warframe, you don't fight their shield. Now, still, you're gonna keep Magnetic for Overguard, but you don't fight their shield. Instead, what you do is you build Toxin. Now, what happens is, Toxin allows damage to bypass enemy shields and deal damage directly to their health over short duration. Now, combining this with Viral, you can get crazy stuff. So, let's check that out. Boom, boom. Activating Nourish. Check this out. See that? Now you can already see and feel the difference that we are doing right here. Look, boom. And they will not survive it. Even like if you are reloading still, they're just like gonna be dead anyway. Boom. 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 So that's the way you fight Corpus all the way. Okay, keep that in mind, and it bypass. Even though you can use it if you have a source of armor stripping and like armor stripping, you can even keep this build the way it is and just change the faction that you're fighting in here, or you just can use the point blank and you be good to go. You don't need to change anything. But I prepared you guys both builds so you can take them out as fast as possible in the right way, in my opinion. Also, if you notice here on the Corpus build I prepared, it has Shotgun Elementalist. Now, Shotgun Elementalist, it works amazingly on Blast and Toxin, because that's what we're building around, and you will get a multiplicative damage against them. And with multiplicative faction mode, things get really crazy and really messy, and enemies will not survive that. Okay, just remember, if you go to the end game, especially if you are duo or solo, remove Galvanized acceleration and change with Prime Shotgun Ammo Mutation, and always bring a second weapon for backup in case you run out of ammo, because this weapon, when it comes to ammo, it's a little bit nasty. Of course, when it comes to arcanes, you can use anything you really want. Now, Blight is really amazing. On toxic effect, critical damage, and 1.8 multi-shot for 12 seconds. We're not really caring about the critical damage in here. We're going to be caring more towards the multi-shot to add to our multi-shot. You can use crooks if you want on weak point, get more statues, and lower the ammo consumption. It's nice, but it's totally up to you. Choose whatever you want. This build can work even without an arcane. So if I just take off an arcane and summon grineer, for example, Manik, there you go. Dakar Bombard Manik. Activating the here, like that. Boom. 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 So, my builds, guys, they're not joking around. That's why I tell you guys, we test things at level cap. We're not doing a show off. we're not just trying to make builds only for level cap. What we're trying actually to do is deliver builds that works and worth your investment. And that's very, very important in Warframe, as you don't want to waste your resources on builds that doesn't work, or builds that makes on synergy so much damage on my share, but it actually doesn't work and doesn't scale. You end up embarrassing yourself with your friends when you go to a mission or somebody invite you to level cap. Now, if you are having a Riven somehow, let's see if I have even a Riven. Yeah, I have a Riven right here, and I have a Riven right here. This is 2 Rivens. Okay. If you have a Riven with multiplicative damage against faction, you replace Primate Cleanse Grineer. If you have a Riven, let's say, with damage, multi-shot, whatever, you can replace this one if you want to. If you have it with Toxic Barrage. If you have it with heat, you replace Shattering Inferno. If you have it with electricity, you replace Primate Charger Shell. If you have it with cold, you replace Primate Chilling Grasp. Let me know in the comments below what Riven you have, so I try and help you replace it, whether in the grineer build or the corpus build. Just make sure to, let's say, let me know which build you're looking for. So, since I'm open for more giveaways, and this is we are almost near New Year, so I'm gonna be your Santa. I'm giving away so many things lately. So since I have 2 Rivens in here, let's say the first Tenno, write a comment. Let's pick one. Let's say just pick a name of any Riven you want. The first Tenno mention any of this Riven will win this Riven. Okay, let's say this. The first Tenno, write a comment with one of the name of these Rivens. This is the Phantasma Magnafa, and this is Phantasma Kirita Purak. It's yours. How about that? Ah? Yeah, baby. So that's how we do it. So, Phantasma, 7 out of 10. Very powerful weapon. It's a must-have. And again, I'm very sorry that I didn't make it any sooner for level cap. I thought I did. Actually, I took it once or twice to level cap, but I thought I already did level cap it. Now, guys, hitting a like in my videos helps a lot in the algorithm, pushing my videos towards more Tennos to benefit and learn from my channel. Also, subscribe for more content and a lot of level cap videos in the channel. Go check them out. Join my Discord to connect with my community, and you can DM me directly if you have any questions about any builds or anything. Special thanks to Hall of Members, special VIPs, undisputed donors, and Hall of Donations, and everyone in my community. Without you guys, I wouldn't make it this far. I appreciate everything and all the support, and see you guys next time. Big love to you all.